Flag on the play if you're not subscribed to VonAllen Sports. But once you are, we'll make it up to your team in the fourth quarter. You're watching VonAllen Sports, real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go.
VonAllen Sports. VonAllen Sports.
What is up, guys? How are y'all, man? All right. Let's see here. You guys, wow, we already got some super chats early tonight. Look at that. Elf of Courage. Elf of Courage sends a $5 super chat. He says, 69ers acquire. The 69ers are on the clock. Thank you. 69ers, you have 10 minutes to make your pick. 69ers acquire Landon Dickerson from the Eagles. It's a good pick. It's a good pick. They say that he will run down people's throats or
elevate himself to the position.
Elevate himself to the position. He will get plenty of penetration into the backfield. Yes, exactly. So what we need to do is we need to have Chris Collinsworth also commentating the draft so he can make sure he introduces all the young ones coming into the draft. So thank you, Alpha Courage. That was a good way to start the show. But actually, Alpha Courage sends another super chat right off the bat. Another $5 super chat. He says, Bills players not the only athlete to randomly collapse. Athletes all over the sports world have been collapsing randomly with similar conditions. Now, I'll tell you, Alpha Courage, from what I've learned on Twitter, for the most part, from what I've learned from Twitter the last few days, is that you are not allowed to question anything anymore. You are not allowed to pose questions. Now, growing up as a kid, being educated in the public school system, like most of you, I learned in science class that questions was the most important part of science, and that is exactly how it works. But apparently, that is no longer the case. So, I'm pretty sure you're referring to some incident that happened on Monday night, right? So there's a game and then something else happened. Can't quite remember. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it's you can't really ask questions anymore. Even asking a question or posing a question or even wondering something like, okay, well, what's this about? Yeah, well, that will also get you destroyed. So be careful, F of Courage. Be careful. You have too much courage, Elf. Okay? So everybody on Earth had this guy diagnosed the moment it happened, all over Twitter. And it was either one thing or the other, and it would be interesting if it was neither. So I don't know. But we'll talk about it. We'll get into that here in a second. Just let me know. Is the microphone sounding good, guys? Can you hear me pretty clearly? Because the cable to this microphone, when I pulled it down a while ago, right before the show started, it bent. It bent the metal piece. Don't know how that happened. And then it was really hot. So I don't know if something happened here, if it's working correctly or not. Hopefully it is. It looks like it is. I'm getting a good signal. So just want to make sure there's no static or anything like that. If there is, let me know. I can switch over to something else. So, all right. So I'm ready to talk football tonight. How about you guys? Because apparently nobody else wants to talk football other than you guys. So, Nightly Sinister. What's up, Kev? Nightly Sinister sends a $10 super chat. He says, if 49ers tie with the Eagles, What is the tiebreaker? Because 49ers will be first in the division. CC wants to know. What will have to happen in a tiebreaker generally is the conference record, I'm pretty sure. So, but since this is a super chat, I want to be 100% accurate, okay? And I will find that right now, actually. So, and you know, it's good for everybody to know anyway. So, I know all the tiebreakers. I just don't. I'm not 100% sure which order they go in. If it's conference first or if it's common opponents first. But there's several. There's several different tiebreakers. Here we go. Now, I don't think they played each other this year, did they? I don't think they did. I don't remember 49ers versus Eagles, or did they? Because I'm pretty sure the head-to-head would be the first thing. Chicago, Seattle, Denver, Los Angeles, Carolina, Atlanta, Kansas City, Los Angeles, Arizona, New Orleans. Nope. No Philadelphia. I was fixing to say, I do not remember them playing unless, unless I'm going into early Alzheimer's. So, okay, so there's no tie-breaking. So the first tie-breaking procedure obviously is head-to-head. That's always the number one. But since they didn't have a game, which I suspected, it's best winning percentage inside the division, in your division. So if the 49ers division record is better than the Eagles, they win. 3, it's best common games. 4, best percentage in games played within the conference. And then there's a lot more, but you'll never get that far. So I'm going to do you even a bigger solid. We're just going to find out. I'm just going to put it in the little playoff machine here, and we're going to see what's happened. So, AFC tie. Boom. Boom. Tie. Eagles, Dallas. Chargers, 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, Green Bay. Okay. So Philadelphia has to lose. Okay. So Philadelphia has to lose and 49ers have to win. All right. So the 49ers need to beat the Cardinals and the Giants have to beat the Eagles. If this occurs, her 49ers will be the number 1 seed. So you just need to win your game, which shouldn't be a problem, but you need the Giants to win too. Now, even with that said, the Giants, it just depends on what their motivation is and who's more motivated, Eagles or Giants. Also, just got to take care of Arizona, but nothing's guaranteed in the NFL. You guys know that. Okay, so there you go. But that's good to know anyway, just to make sure. So thank you so much, Kevin, for that $10 super chat. That was awesome. And tell Cece I said hello, and tell her I think the 49ers are the best team in the NFC. So her team's got a shot. All right, let's see here. You guys are awesome, man. Elf of Courage. Since a $5 super chat, do you think the Bills might rest their starters in Week 18? Okay. So Elf of Courage is coming at me hard and furious. Okay? This is two super chats in a row regarding the elephant in the room. Who would have thought a injury in the NFL would be so controversial and so ridiculous? So, the way people are acting. Okay. The Bills. The Bills are playing the Patriots this Sunday, and that makes it a very, very, very important game. The game itself, okay? So this is a problem. This is the problem. Let's just get this out there. The problem with canceling the game, or what they call postponing it until whenever, the problem with that is it completely wrecks everything that is going on in the playoff picture in the season, okay? Now, there are 30 other teams in the NFL, and not all of them, of course, are available for the playoffs, but a lot of them are waiting. And since we have the participation trophy 7th seed, that's 14 teams that end up in the playoffs now. So literally almost half of the league gets into the playoffs now. Before, getting into the playoffs was so much more exclusive. Only 12 teams got in, only 6 from each side. That's a very small amount. But now it's 14. The Bills-Bengals game was a pivotal game because it determined whether or not the Ravens or the Bengals would be the division winners. And it also would determine the trajectory of the Chiefs or the Bills and who gets the number 1 seed and who gets the bye. Okay? Now that there's only 1 bye in the playoffs instead of 2 like there used to be, that bye is so important now. And you can't just hand it, you can't give it to the Chiefs. You can't just hand it to them. You know, but at the same time, you can't reward the Bills for having an injured player. Okay? So what do, right? I assumed, and obviously incorrectly assumed, that the game would be continued last night on Tuesday. Why did I think that? Okay, so I thought that because I realized that the players were in no mental condition, okay, or whatever, to keep playing that night. All right, so what you've got is they watched their teammate, and I'm assuming that he died at some point on the field, okay? And then they brought him back, right? So they saw that, asking them to line up on the field after seeing their teammate go through that, and just seeing that about anybody in general is really difficult. They were all messed up. You put them back out there and they're not paying attention. They're going to get hit. They're going to get sideswiped. They're just not focused. And then you're going to end up with a lot more injuries. So I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. Just postpone it. But I immediately thought, yeah, it's fine. Just have them play tomorrow night, on Tuesday night. I thought that's what was going to happen because the Bills were already in Cincinnati and they just take 24 hours. Maybe the team goes and sees him at the hospital. Of course, not the whole team, but certain people if they want to. But anyway, that was the thought process for me until I woke up on Tuesday and found out that the game wasn't going to be played at all this week. So I don't know. I don't know how they're going to figure it out, but I do have kind of an idea that could work. I hear people, some people have suggested that the Bills and Bengals should get a tie. Okay, well, even a tie messes with the playoff picture. So it disrupts some things. Now, if you yeah, if you reward them with it, or not reward, but if you issue them a tie, that could change things for Baltimore. Just give me a second. Okay. So the Bengals, that would make them and Baltimore both fighting for the division. Baltimore can still get in. All Baltimore has to do is just win. So really what this determines is if one team has a home game or not. Because if you award Cincinnati a tie, they're going to win the division. Even if Baltimore wins their game. And okay, this is all assuming that Cincinnati will win their lose their game against Baltimore. So Baltimore right now is in control of their situation. Okay, Baltimore is playing Cincinnati. So if Baltimore beats them, they still can't get the division because Cincinnati would have gotten that tie. But what if the Bills had won that game? What if the Bills had beaten the Bengals on Monday night? Now the Baltimore Ravens are in control of their own situation. All they have to do is beat Cincinnati to get the division win. So giving them the tie is very, very strange. All right? We're never going to have an accurate winner for the AFC. We're never going to know what legitimately happened because we have no legitimate outcome. This is a problem, okay? I understand the situation with Hamlin. I get that, okay? But that is not, you still have to figure this out, okay? And I've seen nothing but people on internet, people who don't even watch football, who don't even like the sport, who doesn't understand any of this, chiming in. Oh, you shouldn't play the game at all. You should award them a tie, or you should give the Bengals the win because they were up 7-3 in the first quarter. Really? I mean, listen, that game was going to be a back and forth shootout. Okay, you could feel it. You know, I already thought that before, but that was going to be back and forth. That's anyone's game. There is nothing that transpired so far into that game that tells us either team was going to win that game. Okay, there was nothing there, and there wasn't long enough. I mean, if it's a third or fourth quarter and one team's up 24-3 or something, then maybe I could see the argument. But no, this is not going to work. Unless the teams agree to a loss, unless the Bills and Bengals both agree to a loss, there's no other way to do this without cheating the other teams in the AFC. That's it. That's just the truth, okay? Neither the Bills or the Bengals would sacrifice a playoff spot. They'd both make it. Now, the Bengals and Bills, they're going to win their division, right? They're going to win our division, AFC East. It doesn't matter. So they could take a loss, but they won't get the number one seed. The Bengals could take that loss. And as long as they beat Baltimore, they're okay. So they still win the division. So Bills and Bengals both could take a loss and still control their situation if they just win their game in week 18, right? So there you go. That's really the only way to do that unless you reschedule. How would you reschedule? Okay, well, rescheduling is very difficult too. First of all, the Super Bowl, the date of the Super Bowl is probably nearly impossible, okay? So, I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know what would go into that, but I'm assuming that the Super Bowl, everything that's prepared for the Super Bowl is so big and so crazy, and everyone coming from all over the world and media and stuff and all that. I just don't know logistics of how that would be pushed back, but you never know. How I see it is that there is a 2-week time frame between the championship games and the Super Bowl. Now, normally that week in between is the Pro Bowl, festivities. Well, who gives a shit? Okay? Nobody cares about the Pro Bowl. It doesn't matter. You can have it a week later or whatever. You could just get rid of it. Nobody notice. All right? So It's a flag football game that they're producing now, so I don't give a shit. Nobody cares. All right. So what to do with the Pro Bowl is the least of our problems. So you've got that 2-week window that you don't have to have. So we tack on a regular season week 19. All the playoff teams getting ready for the playoffs get a bye, except in week 19, there's one game played. It is the Bengals and Bills. And they finished their game. All right. Then all the playoff games are pushed back a week. And then once you get after the championship games, you only have a week to the Super Bowl, and the Super Bowl's not moved. But that presents another problem. Now, you've given all of the other playoff teams a bye week, making the number 1 seed actually not good. Okay? So whoever gets the number 1 seed, and the NFC is now being affected by this. Don't forget, this isn't just an AFC problem. This is now an NFC problem too, where the number 1 seed of both conferences are off for 2 straight weeks. Now, some may like that. I don't know. But that's a long time, okay, for not playing football. That's a long time to get cold, to get rusty, to get out of sync. I don't know. You have another problem there. That's why I just thought play the game this week. Play the game this week at some point. You could even play it on Thursday night, okay? And then just push their week 18 matchups against the Bills, against the Patriots, and the Bengals against the Ravens, and push that to like Tuesday or Wednesday if the other teams agree that they're okay with it. You may be able to get them to agree to that. But no, they've already said no game this week. Why? I don't know why they committed to that, but okay. But whatever. I'm just saying that there every way possible there is a problem presented. Okay? So I think the easiest, I'm not saying this is what they should do, okay? I'm saying the easiest would be for the Bengals and Bills to agree to a loss, okay? I don't expect them to do that. I don't think they should do that. But as far as scheduling goes, that would be the easiest, okay? And that would award Kansas City the number 1 seed straight up. And could determine, but Cincinnati can still control whether or not they win the division by beating the Ravens. So that is the easiest way for the NFL to get out of this at this point. But anything other than that is going to be very difficult. So this season is just this, dude. We thought 2020 was weird. This is stranger, okay? Because it's not just the injury to Hamlin. It's the quality of play has been terrible this year. All right. All right. So now that I've have that said, Elf of Courage, he sent a $5 super chat. He said, "Do you think the Bills might rest their starters in Week 18?" It all depends on the decision here. They need to know if it's worth it. So if they're still in contention for the number 1 seed, or are they not? They without that information, there's no way to answer that question. So I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that they will play like normal. They will start their guys no matter what, just because they did not get a full game. And again, that would be time. They need to get past that. They need to play the Patriots. They need to get back into the rhythm of things and see how playing is, considering what happened on Monday night. So I would say, yeah, they will play their starters. So, but again, that's with so little information at this point. Yeah, the Pro Bowl game. There is a Pro Bowl game, but it's flag football. Literally, I'm not being sarcastic, or it's just, seriously, it is. There's an actual flag football game. It's being each side's being coached by Eli and Peyton Manning. So That's a real thing. And completely irrelevant. Okay, let's see here. That's weird. James Johnson's super chat doesn't come up in the software's comment section, but Mr. A's did. This is a problem. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Now, see, had I not had the YouTube thing open, I would have not even known he sent that. See, guys, it's not me, man. It's not me. Okay, sometimes it's me, but sometimes it's not. Okay. Come on, dude. All right. James Johnson says a $2 super chat. He says, too many games this year have been unwatchable. Yeah. We were complaining about it all year long. We were like, why is this year so bad? And it's just been a mess, you know. And to top it off with all this, now this scheduling conflict and all this, and Hamlin situation, which is very bizarre, which we can talk about. You know, we can talk about the injury and all that. It's fine. But we also have football to talk about. So, all right. Yeah, I got it. That one actually showed up. Okay. Mr. A, what's up, man? He sends a $10 super chat. He says, do you think by Tampa Bay playing all their starters, they can capitalize on their momentum and possibly pull off a 2007 New York Giants run and defeat all the top teams on their way to the Super Bowl? Of course I do. Of course I do. They've got Tom Brady. As long as you've got Tom Brady, you're okay. You've got a chance. All right. Even with how dysfunctional the Buccaneers are. Okay. And how bad the coaching is. If what happened in the second half against the Panthers, I should say actually later than that, if you just let Tom do his thing and they just do what they want and people make some, they just catch the ball like you're supposed to. Basically, it's this simple. If the Bucs just do what they're supposed to do as professional football players, meaning the basics, tackle people, give effort, stop getting holding penalties, make the catch when the ball goes to you, okay? Stop running into the scrum and try to go around or try to hit a hole or something like that. These are basics. This is stuff that we learned in Pee Wee football, okay? If they can do the basics, they have as good of a chance to make a run as anybody, okay? That's what we've been saying. They've got the roster. They've got that. That's not a problem. There is no shortage of good players. They're just idiots, okay? So they're a bunch of morons, and they can't get anything done. And it's certainly not going to be anything done by the coaching. So the players are going to have to do it themselves. Unfortunately, this isn't a Giants situation in the fact that the Giants had Tom Coughlin. Okay? The Bucs have the most boring, clueless idiot as their coach. Okay? He would, if he was leading, okay, a roided up band of barbarians, okay, who was trying to get revenge because the Romans had killed all their babies, he would make the barbarians stop wanting to fight out of boredom, okay? His leadership is so bad. He's so uninspiring that they wouldn't even want to do that, okay? How do you expect him to do anything? It just doesn't work. I mean, even Bruce Arians made a bunch of stupid decisions that drove me nuts. But at that time, I didn't think it could get any worse than that. Really. I mean, I guess we've been spoiled by good coaching, right? But Bruce Arians yelled at these guys. He'd give them dirty looks. He would tell them the truth. He would get in their faces and say, "Hey, what the hell are you doing?" You know? He motivated them. He was energetic. He was excited. Okay? That is something that you've still got something there. It's just Todd Bowles is something else. He's something different, and he's the most uninspiring person in football. It's shocking. It's shocking how lifeless he is. So, but yeah, they can do it. They can do it if they do those things I just said. So, this is not a roster shortage. This is not a roster problem. Okay, so yeah. All right, Mr. A sends another one. Sends a $5 super chat. He says, "Let's fucking go!" Hell yeah. Let's do it. Hope that didn't break y'all's ears. Why is Jalen telling me about the super chats? Oh, okay. What, did I say them wrong or something? Did I say it was $2 or something instead of 10? Oh, never mind. All right.
No, you know how he said that James didn't show up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the software counts the amount.
Yeah, it just didn't pull it up. Yeah, the software didn't. But I can still see it in the YouTube one. I just have to screenshot it. That's all. All right. Nightly Sinister sends a $5 super chat. He says, NFL still considering scheduling options for suspended game, including possibly eliminating the week off before the Super Bowl, according to the Baltimore Sun. All right. Yeah. Up of Courage, it's a $2 super chat. He says, tonight's live stream theme, super chats. That's okay with me. All right. Look who's here. Mastermind. What's up, man? Gonna have to screenshot that one because it's a member chat. Remember, guys, use your member chats. That's what you pay for every month. You get one free one every show. Mastermind sends a member super chat. He says, "How about that Tampa Bay Tom Brady? Sorry. How about that Tom Brady winning in spite of inept coaches?" Not just inept, Mastermind. Okay, you got to come up with a new version of inept. All right. Inept is the guy in San Diego that just got his team a playoff spot. That's inept. All right. What Todd Bowles is that's something different. And Byron Leftwich, that's a different thing. So, also, Mastermind, I don't know if I hadn't seen you in a while, but you made it pretty far in the quarterback tournament. You got really far. So, congrats. Ryan Dyer sends a $2 super chat. Todd Bowles is George B. McClellan in Civil War. Yes, that's a good comparison there. And Ryan, I told you the Packers were going to make a run, didn't I? I told you they were going to make a run and that they were going to be in contention for a playoff spot by the end of the season, and now they are. So all they got to do is beat the Detroit Lions, and they're in. That's it. So just beat the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions have a really good offense, so that Packers defense, or at least if Aaron Rodgers can keep up with them, there you go. So €5 super chat from Chio Chips. Welcome, Chio Chips. I've not seen you here before. In the chat. Thank you so much. He says Tom Brady will only stay at Tampa Bay if Sean Payton becomes Tampa Bay's new coach. What's your take on that? I absolutely agree. That's absolutely true. If the only way you're keeping Tom Brady in Tampa Bay is new coaching. That's it. There's no way he stays with the current situation. He's given Todd Bowles way too many dirty looks this year, including against Carolina just recently. He knows how bad it is. Listen, guys, and let me change my position here. If we know, okay, Milena asked me one time, she said, how did you know? She's like, Æron, how did you know all those things about Bruce Arians? How did you know that Tom didn't like Bruce? Because Tom never mentioned it. For 2 years, Tom never said anything about Bruce Arians. So how did you know? And what she was referring to is that then we found out that Tom and Bruce didn't get along. And, there's a rumor that one of the stipulations that Tom coming back was for them to hire a different coach. I'm pretty sure Tom did not mean Todd Bowles. I think Tom meant go out and hire a coach somewhere. So, but she was wondering, how did I know that, even though we had no evidence? And I said, well, it wasn't just me. It was all of us. We know Tom. We know how he is. We know what he expects. And Bruce wasn't providing that. And we could see it. It was painfully obvious. So, I mean, we all of us here, we talked about it every night, and every week it was like, oh, Tom can't stand Bruce Arians. There's no way he likes him. And then we all ended up being correct about it. And that's how I know that the Todd Bowles situation with Tom is even worse. It's even worse. He has no respect for this guy at all. And Todd did things that even Bruce wouldn't try, like not giving the ball to Tom against Cleveland in a tie game to see if Tom could go down and score and win, and then doubling down on that by throwing Tom under the bus and saying, I was afraid we might throw an interception. So the greatest quarterback of all time, the greatest pressure quarterback of all time, and you don't think that he can get you into field goal range in a tie game with 3 timeouts against the Cleveland Browns? Really? And the fact that Todd Bowles actually said this out loud, listen, it's a done deal, okay? So yeah, the only way he stays in Tampa Bay is bringing Sean Payton. That would require way too much, though. I think it's too much to, if you're a Bucs fan, if you were a Tampa fan before, and you're one of those people that will remain a Tampa fan after Tom leaves, it's not good news, okay? Todd Bowles has got a long contract, so the Bucs would have to be willing to pay that, and they would have to be willing to trade this with the Saints for Sean Payton. And the Saints would have to be willing to send Sean Payton to a division rival, which isn't good business. There's virtually zero chance that Sean Payton is the coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. But I mean, it's fun to speculate and stuff. I see the media people doing that, but it's just not possible. It's not going to happen. The Glazer family is going to continue to stick with Todd Bowles because they just don't want to pay another coach. And they're perfectly okay with having the next 5 years of their team suck. And they're fine with that. They got their Super Bowl victory, and they just don't have the mentality other owners do to consistently build, to try to build a dynasty, to try to keep things going for as long as possible. They don't have that in them. Okay, this isn't the Rooneys or Kraft or somebody like that. It's just they just don't have the mindset to keep things together and keep things going like that. So they're fine with it. They're fine with sucking. They did it forever. They did it. You got to remember, this is the same team that went from winning a Super Bowl to eventually having Chris Sims as their starting quarterback. Okay. I get it. Any chance I have to talk shit to Chris Sims. You guys got a Chris Sims emoji, right? Can you post that for me? Basically, this is what I want you guys to do, all right? These are instructions for you guys, okay? You know how on TV shows when the comedian says something funny and the drummer, it's like on the Tonight Show, right? And the drummer goes, ding, right? Okay. So from now on, this is forever in the future, okay? When I say Chris Sims, instead of the rim shot, you post the Chris Sims DUI emoji, okay? So that's Chris's mugshot that you guys are seeing there. So but yeah, Chio. So just to expand a little bit on your super chat there, Tom is going to try everything possible to get with Sean Payton, probably. It just depends on who the Saints are willing to deal with. If they're willing to deal him within the conference, okay, the division, no, but even in the conference, they may not even be willing to do that. So then that would limit the teams to the AFC. So many opportunities can open up, guys. We just don't know what's going on. There's different scenarios that could come up. Injuries could happen in the playoffs. Okay, what if a great team, okay, so hear me out. We go into the playoffs, okay, and a team in a pretty good position has a massive injury to the starting quarterback, a guy that we think is going to be there for a long time, and you just don't know. Anything could happen. So, but if we go by what we know now, I think if Tom wants to just get with Sean Payton, that's going to limit the teams. It's going to limit Tom's options greatly. So, unfortunately, the Raiders are stuck with Josh McDaniels, and I am concerned that Tom may go to the Raiders out of friendship and loyalty to his friend, and that could be the wrong decision. You know, Tom's made bad decisions before FTX. So Tom's made bad decisions before marrying Gisele Bündchen. So this has happened, okay? And I'm afraid that he might go to the Raiders because of that. And I think Josh McDaniels is a garbage coach, head coach. I wasn't even that thrilled with him as offensive coordinator, to be quite honest with you. I preferred Bill O'Brien. That's the truth. Like, if they could have just stuck with Bill O'Brien and Bill never left, you know, I know that he went to coach Notre Dame. I remember, him doing that. But had he not, I would have been perfectly happy with Bill O'Brien. So. Let me go back here. Oh, you guys did it for me. Thank you so much. Look at all those Chris Sims things. Shows you how many members we've got in this place. Mr. A sends a $5 super chat. He says, does anyone think besides me, the way Todd Bowles smiles, he could play the next Joker in the DC universe? I'm just saying. He does have a weird smile, doesn't he? It is strange. You're right. It is weird. You know what? I never even thought about it. I'm always more mesmerized by his low IQ, honestly. It seems like he has a low IQ. Like I told you, he's one of those idiot savants. Like, he's really good at one thing, but a complete moron when it comes to everything else. So that's how I see him. You know? You're always going to find the guy who is the best at Hungry Hippo or checkers or Connect Four. and probably the greatest at that, but everything else, they're just useless. And that's how I see Todd Bowles. He's a good defensive coordinator, okay? He knows his thing. He knows what to do with that. But everything else, he's a complete dipshit. And he's an arrogant dipshit, okay? There's nothing more frightening than an idiot with power who thinks that they're smart, okay? That thinks that they're clever and is arrogant. That's the worst thing. That's the worst combination. And this guy is in control of a team and whether or not Tom Brady can get an 8th ring. And that's scary, actually. So, and hopefully it's going to be over soon. So, Elf of Courage sends a $2 super chat, says, maybe the next man up thing shouldn't apply to coaches. Yeah, it just depends, I guess. I'm almost certain that when Tom wanted a new coach, he meant interviewing some people. Like, not just... All Bruce did was like, okay, you don't like me? Well, I'm just going to go up to the front office. I'm still going to be around, and I'm going to promote Todd Bowles, which is means that I'm still around, buddy. I don't think that's what Tom had in mind. And, you know, so... Todd was given the job because this was Bruce Arians trying to keep things his way and didn't want to bring someone from the outside. He didn't want somebody from the outside coming in and having success, and then it would have minimized what Bruce did, getting the Super Bowl and all that. So he wanted to keep control of it. He's like, well, fuck you, Tom. If you don't want me here, I'm gonna keep it in the family here. That's exactly what he was doing. And then Todd Bowles hires or not actually promotes people that have no business in those positions because they're friends or convenience. I don't know what he was doing, but the entire staff is ridiculous and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Patriots are having similar problems where Belichick is hiring his friends, his close friends, in positions they don't deserve to be in. So, and his sons. And I can't really gauge whether or not his sons are doing a good job. I really don't know. I mean, his sons, technically their position is safeties and linebackers. That's both of them. Okay. But do we really know how good they're doing at their job? I mean, do we really know? I mean, how much is Bill? How much of it is Bill? It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell and judge any Patriot coordinator on defense. I think we've learned that over time. Okay, so we saw Romeo Crennel leave and go away and have struggle. We've seen Matt Patricia leave and struggle. Brian Flores left and struggled. So how much of this is nepotism only, or is it actually that they earned it? And that's kind of what I'm wondering here. But bringing in Matt Patricia back from Detroit and giving him the offensive coordinating job, and Joe Judge, who was a special teams guy who failed miserably in New York, and giving him offensive duties, I just don't understand what the thinking process is there. You're telling me Bill couldn't have hired somebody around the league? Somebody? I mean, come on. It's just, I don't know. All I know is that the Bucs better win against Atlanta, because I'm going to have a hard time with a team winning the division and going to the playoffs with a losing record. All right, I'm going to struggle with that. I'm telling you guys right now, that's going to bother me. If they can just win this game against Atlanta, then all is well. Okay, they'll be 9-8, 9-8. It's not great, but it's a winning record. And all is good. All is right in the world. So, what the hell are you guys posting? Okay, that's a lot of stuff. All right. Brandon, the humble, blessed gamer entertainer. Welcome, my friend. Love seeing new people here. or at least you're new to me. New as in you may have been a subscriber for a while, but if I've never seen your name, I will just point you out as a new person. So. Yeah, Tom has never lost to Atlanta. Don't start now. Yep, I agree. Look at Tyler go. Tyler, people are going to think you work for me. Tyler, you don't like Bill O'Brien? What Now keep in mind, Tyler, all right? Don't think of don't think of Bill O'Brien as the guy that traded all of Houston's players and did the, as the Texans coach, and then he got GM duties and all that stuff. Don't think of him as the GM guy. As head coach, he was okay. I mean, they were good, and then sometimes they, had bad years. It was just kind of iffy. But only think of him as an offensive coordinator. It's different. It's like from now on, when someone brings up Todd Bowles, they're going to go, ugh, right? They're going to be like, gross. Todd Bowles, crappy coach. They're only going to think of him as his tenure with the Jets and as the head coach of the Bucs. But as coordinator, if that's his only job, that's a different prospect, right? So when you think about Bill O'Brien, just think about him as the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Anthony Preston says, Bowles is cousin of the Wicked Witch of the West with the low IQ, Maxine Waters. I could see them being related. That actually makes sense. So, all right. Let's see here. Chio, when you say McDaniel's back as offensive coach and Sean Payton as head coach could be an option, which team are you referring to? The only way okay, the Raiders, yeah, okay. So that's different, yeah. So Josh is that's not gonna work. I mean, Josh would have to be demoted, and he's not gonna do that. What he would do is he'd end up just getting fired and then going back to New England. There's no way that's possible, unfortunately. So, although that'd be kind of cool. But you got to remember too that Sean Payton is an offensive coordinator himself. With Sean, it's very similar to the Chiefs with Andy Reid. People saying, why is Eric Bieniemy not a head coach in this league? Well, first of all, he's a douche. Okay, he's a gigantic dickhead, and a lot of the players don't like him. That's his first problem. His second problem is that everybody knows that it's Andy Reid, okay? And that's the deal. So I don't think Sean Payton and Josh McDaniels can coexist on a team. I don't see that happening. James Johnson says a $5 super chat. He says, Bill O'Brien helped Brady win an MVP in 2010 and throw for over 5,000 yards in 2011, as well as a Super Bowl appearance. He is a legit offensive coordinator. That's an interesting super chat there, James, and because in 2011, the New England Patriots had no business being in the Super Bowl. All right? That defense was garbage. The defense is why they lost the Super Bowl. It's amazing that they got that far. It just really is. I mean, but that was always the weak link. You know, when you got Julian Edelman out there in the secondary, that's a problem, okay? So I remember 2011 that the Patriots and Packers both had really bad defenses. There is no doubt that Bill O'Brien could have done what Josh McDaniels did in 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018, all those Super Bowl appearances and some of them victories. But I just don't see a difference. I don't see that would have made a difference. There were actually a lot of times where Josh would do things that I felt would cost the game or would be very puzzling. Very like, what? Like, why did you do that? Very frustrating. But that could also be a case of we're around Josh. We've seen Josh so much that things get stale after a while. I mean, that could be it too. But you're absolutely right that those years was a strange time. But yeah, Tom got a lot done, produced a lot during that time. So. Tom, it just depends on other factors too. But I guess when I say I like Bill also, I just want to make it clear, is I like his style. I like his the way he calls games, and I like a lot of the stuff he was doing. I just prefer it, actually. But Josh or Bill, either way, I think the same result happens anyway. So. Yeah, I don't know about his college record. I don't follow that much. So. Elf of Courage sends a $5 super chat. He says, what coaches should Belichick get in 2023 to make the team better? And I'm talking outside the organization. Bill O'Brien. That's it. Bill O'Brien. He's not going to hire from outside the organization. He's not. He doesn't do that. He's always been about, promoting guys from within. That's what he does. That's what he's about. So the only option is Bill. I think that's the clear way to go. So. Let's see who else would be available. Well, Frank Reich got fired recently. But I figure that they'll probably find a job for him in Jacksonville. He'll probably want to go work with Doug Peterson. So, he could go back to the Eagles too. I mean, again, finding a position for him. But I guess it's possible. Gord King says, fire Belichick and hire Sean Payton. You guys bringing up Aaron Hernandez? Hernandez, yeah, he was with, he was drafted a few rounds later than Gronk. He said, I can't imagine Ryan Dyer says, I can't imagine how many rings Brady has if Hernandez wasn't a life ender. You mean a cold-blooded murderer? Frank Reich, yep. Well, I'll tell you right now, if what happened with Æron never happened, and he just kept playing, he would be considered one of the best tight ends. So that's no brainer. So it could have been the difference maker for a lot of things. It could have been the difference maker in a lot of games that the Patriots lost and when they lacked, proper targets. So, but yeah, Æron was that good, and he was one of my favorite players. And I just remember being shocked by everything when it happened. So, the Gord King says $2 super chat. He says, "Fire Bill, hire Sean. Tom returns to New England." Yeah, that's never going to happen. But yeah, see. No, I got it, Gord King. I got it. Okay, this is a brilliant plan. You just make Belichick the general manager because he's so good at it. Wonk, 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 wonk. Wonk, 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 wonk. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doot-doot. So, we had a New Year's party here at our place, and a friend of mine named Brad Gold. He's a massive Chiefs fan. You guys have seen him on the show before. And I said, Brad, I handed him my soda. I said, Brad, can you open my Coke, please? He's like, yeah, you something wrong? I was like, yeah, I can't open it. He's like, sure. And then I handed him this. I said, please open my soda. Oh, yeah. That was payback, okay? That was payback because a few months ago when I went over to Z's place to watch the Chiefs-Bucs game, when I walked in, Brad had placed Kansas City Chiefs soda cozies on the television set for me to enjoy while we're watching the game. So that was payback, actually. What about Jim Harbaugh? Well, the thing is Jim. I think Tom would like Jim. Would like Jim. They have the Michigan connection there and stuff. Jim needs to come back to the NFL. He's got to get himself a Super Bowl. He's got to. I mean, he was a great coach. I don't understand why he left. I don't understand why he went to Michigan. I guess well, okay. I guess I can understand why he did it. They offered him a lot of money. It's his alma mater, and that means something to him, blah, blah, blah. But as far as I'm concerned, I would never go down to college. I would, especially if you're good at the NFL. He was great at it. So he was knocking on the door, man. He was on his way to winning the Super Bowl. But he also has a bad temper. He's hard to get along with. So a lot of ownership is not going to get along with Jim. So it just depends on the team. He's not going to take a coordinator job. So you would have to find a head coaching vacancy for him. And is he even looking? Do you guys even know what he's up to regarding that? His contract, is he able to do that? So I don't even know. See, I don't pay attention to college. The only time I pay attention to college is the draft of players coming in, and then I go back and I'll check them out. But as far as keeping up with what's going on in college, I could not give less of a fuck. Okay, so until they're ready for the draft, they're just children to me. They're kids. And it's meaningless as far as I'm concerned. It's oh, you won a national championship, okay. So, it's just, I don't know. It seems to me that if you're a coach of the right university, you can win. If it's the university that can pull in the most guys based off of all kinds of perks and prestige and things like that, it's very simple, and you can just stack your organization. People are so blown away by Nick Saban, like, oh, he's the greatest. There you go. Yeah, I mean, he sucked ass as an NFL head coach, okay? And you want me to reward him for that? I mean, you want me to be impressed by this? So you come to the NFL where you have to manage the salary cap, meaning that you have to deal with certain players, and you have to coach them, okay? And this is when everybody you play has the same amount of good players. They have great players on all the teams, and you've got to deal with that. So he fails. He goes down to Alabama, where you can stack a team completely because it's the Alabama Crimson Tide, right? So you can do that, and then half of your schedule is against a bunch of shit people, and it just, even the so-called good teams only have maybe a few NFL potential guys on it. So there's no comparison. There's no comparison when you have, Belichick, Saban, for example. 6 Super Bowls as a head coach versus what is Saban got, 6 national championships? Something like that. So he had one with LSU, I believe, and then the rest were with Alabama. But yeah, it just doesn't. I didn't go to university in America, okay? So I don't have any kind of loyalty to that. I don't have any kind of built in, so I guess I just don't get all the excitement over it. But I don't even know why I just said all that. I don't even know where that came from. So, oh, he's got 7. Wow, he's got 7. Nice. Good for him. And it's boring too. Like, so many games are like 58 to 7 or some shit. Like, I don't know, whatever. But I take notice. I take notice of the ones that are coming out of the draft. That's it. That's about it. So as far as the coaches, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you which college coach is good or whatever. I will tell you this. I remember they were making a big deal out of Matt Rule. And the Carolina Panthers, new owners of the Carolina Panthers, when they hired him, they said, he's going to make this organization great for the next several decades. Yeah, how'd that work out? I mean, and then I looked up his college record. It wasn't even that impressive. It was just, they were trying to say that, oh, he turned around some organizations. Okay, well, that's nice. That does not mean you're ready to be a head coach of an NFL team. What it could mean is maybe you're ready for a coordinator's job in the NFL. Maybe you want to give them that. Maybe you want to put them in that position or something. So maybe you make them assistant head coach to a head coach somewhere and let them get the feel for how things work. But it's a different thing. It's a different sport entirely, to be honest with you, because of how it's designed and how it's ran, how recruiting works, how getting players works, how many players you can have on the team. And not to mention all the corruption going on in college where they're paying these kids under the table and paying their families. And, oh, no, that stuff doesn't go on. Yeah, sure. There's no bagmen in college, right? They don't do that anymore, right? Look at bullshit. Come on. So probably losing a lot of subscribers right now who love college football. Sorry.
Okay. James Johnson, super chat. 2. No, 1.
James Johnson says a $2 super chat. He says, why do people like John more than his brother Jim? I don't know. John's a douche. I like Jim as a quarterback I remember him as a quarterback when I was a kid. But John, of the Ravens, he's petty. He's a petty little baby, and he doesn't. He's got Jim's temper in a lot of ways. It's in certain moments, but he's the kind of guy that will go behind your back and call the league office on you and stuff. So he's that type. Jim is he just likes to yell and get angry and stuff. But I don't see Jim as the type that would call the league office and say, "Hey, they were running illegal formations and their footballs are underinflated and blah blah blah." So. Yeah, I agree with you. Jason, you're tuning in from Armadillo, Texas. What are you doing in Texas, dude? Mike Miller says Nick Saban got fired by the Browns and quit on the Dolphins. Yeah, he was pissed. He didn't have a quarterback. At least that's what he said. I remember that one dude, Bobby Petrino, who quit on the Falcons and went to Arkansas. Remember, that was a big deal. One night, seriously, this happened, okay? So one night he told the Falcons team he's not going anywhere. The next night, he's on TV doing the pig suey in Fayetteville. So that's interesting. No, same thing happened again. John Thomas Chavez sent one, Carolina's rule of law, but that didn't come up here. Damn it. I'm going to have to screenshot it.
Did Israel?
Huh?
Did Israel come up? This one up there?
Yeah. But John's didn't. Okay. John Thomas Chavez sends a $2 super chat. He says, Carolina's rule of law didn't work so well. No, it didn't. Nice pun. That's something I expect from Gord King. Good job, John. Yep, satire junk. I completely agree with you. Texas hired Bobby Petrino today as a coordinator. That's funny. So now I heard he's good with quarterbacks. That may be, well, because now the Manning kid, he's decided to go there too. So that might be that they might be trying to hook those two up together. So, right? Is that probably so? Hook 'em. Yep. I lived in Texas for a little bit. Oh, okay. That's different. Oh, okay. Ah, gotcha. A&M. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. The Aggies, not Longhorns. Got it. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So somebody in my family found a picture. I can't remember, but of me wearing a college shirt. Did you guys see that in the comment section? I'm wearing a Arkansas Razorback shirt. I'm a little kid. It's kind of strange. So there's evidence of me wearing something college related and not NFL related. So almost all my childhood pictures, if I'm wearing something, it's an NFL team of some, so. But there is a photo of me wearing a Arkansas Razorback shirt. So I found that interesting. What?
You were predestined, programmed.
I was programmed to be an Arkansas Razorbacks fan. Is that what Milena is saying?
To have VAS.
Oh, I see. To have VAS. Oh, okay, yeah. Like when I started the Houston Oilers club.
All of it. Wearing
Yeah.
all these every time with a jersey or t-shirt.
Now, Jason, you had the Michigan shirt. Jason liked the Wolverines, by the way. He had a Michigan Wolverines shirt and hat. I remember that. But he also had a Miami Hurricanes sweatshirt too. Oh, he also had a Texas. He had a Texas sweatshirt as well. So he's all over the place. He's all kinds of colleges, everything but Arkansas. So. Wait, you're saying that there's a photo of me with grandma when I was a kid and I'm wearing a Michigan shirt? That had to have been your Michigan shirt. No, that's weird. Interesting. I'd like to see that picture actually. Send that to me. I'll post it here. Let me see here real quick. Just one moment. I found it. Well, I found the Arkansas one. Here you guys go. There it is. There's the evidence. That is little old me wearing an Arkansas Razorbacks shirt. You like that? Now, Jason says there's a picture of me wearing a Michigan shirt. I don't remember it, but he says he's got one. Kevin says Steven looks out of place. Steven always looks out of place. Who's the girl in the flower shirt? That's my sister, Sherry. Jason, how come you're not in this photo? Where are you? And Kevin, how come you're not in the picture? Nightly Sinister. You spent more time at my house than you did your own. Yes, Gord King, that is who you eliminated from the tournament when you beat Sherry Allen. That is who you defeated. So good job. Took out my sister, asshole. Oh, you took the shirt, Jason? Okay. Or I took the shirt. You took the picture?
You took the shirt. He took the picture.
I took the shirt. He took the picture. Okay.
We got it.
She looks like a gamer. Okay, here's my impression of my sister playing Nintendo. All right? So playing Mario Brothers. When she'd be trying to get Mario to jump over a space and not die, she'd go, Doom! So when she'd jump, she'd move the controller over as if it made Mario jump farther. She'd boing. She's pretty good at Duck Hunt, though. Although I used to shoot that damn dog. You guys remember that dog in Duck Hunt? Fucker. I fucking wanted to kill that dog. Seriously.
Annoying.
Oh, yeah. So, Milena, in this game Duck Hunt, if you screw up or you miss or you don't do well, the dog comes out of the bushes and he starts laughing at you. And I'm telling you, after a while, it starts to piss you off. You know?
Just laughing at you.
He's just laughing at you like, you suck. Seriously.
I can imagine somebody designed that character.
Yeah, fuck that dog. All right? So, I still have PTSD from that fucking dog. I'm telling you. It's and that game, every Nintendo came with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And so when you first get a Nintendo, you know, those of you guys who remember these days getting a Nintendo for the first time, you played the shit out of those games. You played Mario and Duck Hunt all day long, every day for months and months and months. And that dog, just what a prick.
Don't be hating on the animal now.
Oh, no, I'm going to hate on the dog. The dog was mean. So. Okay, so just want to bring up the Patriots Dolphins situation. So the Dolphins basically are who I thought they were. Okay? They are who I thought they were. They are who I said they would be. I said they were frauds. All year I said they were frauds, and they were 8-3. But Aaron, they're 8-3, and they're doing so well. And you don't know what you're talking about. You just say, blah, 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 blah. I guess apparently some of you guys are French. Now, look at them now. Okay, so but Aaron Tua got hurt. He got concussed. Yeah, that's part of it. It's part of the game. People do get hurt. Quarterbacks get injured. It's the deal. And in the NFL, you got to keep your team moving. Got to keep your team going. And let's not pretend that that was the make or break thing for them anyway. They're just not there yet. They're almost there. But they have a head coach that looks like he spends more time in a Silence of the Lambs movie than he does coaching football. With that said, I still think it was a good win by the Patriots. What you want, this is what you want going into the postseason if they, you want a defense that can score, a defense that can get turnovers, and you want a quarterback that can convert on third freaking down. Mac was doing that, okay? So say what you want about him, but he was converting when he needed it, okay? If he can keep doing that, that's important. I'm sure you guys remember all the Tom Brady Patriots games where if it wasn't for converting on third down over and over and over, that game is lost. So it's the big money down. It's the one that you have to have. And the reason it's important other than just converting to the first down, that's obvious. But I mean, another reason is that you're maximizing the amount of downs per set. That means the drive is longer. It means the defense is out there longer, and then their offense is on the bench. It's very simple, but it's important. So if you can get 1, 2, 3, convert, 1, 2, 3, convert, 1, 2, 3, convert, and you do that long enough, you're in business. One particular drive comes to mind is the Chiefs-Patriots AFC Championship game. where by the time the Patriots had crossed midfield, that secondary was exhausted and they couldn't keep up. They couldn't cover Gronk and they couldn't cover Edelman. They just couldn't do it. They didn't have it in them anymore because Tom just kept doing this. For the 3 previous drives, he just kept converting and he was getting more downs out of it and more plays, more snaps, and that's exhausting. You got to remember those defensive backs, the cornerbacks, they don't get traded out. Most cornerbacks play the whole game. So they don't get the rest. They don't get the chances of, sitting out. So it's important. Third down's important and keeping that drive alive. So Mac was doing that. But the defense is opportunistic and it looks like a Belichick defense. So what it really makes me think, to be quite honest with you, what it really makes me think is, what if Tom was the quarterback right now? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because I think if Brady was the quarterback of this Patriots team this year, I'd be surprised if they've dropped 2 games so far. I think they would be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I don't think that's too crazy. I don't, but, well, okay. Maybe let me correct that. Tom would have to override a lot of the things that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge have been doing. But I don't think it would be the same. I think they don't trust Mac, and so they're simplifying the offense. They're making it a bit different in how they call things. If you got Tom out there, Matt Patricia can just call and continue similar things that what's always been, okay? And Tom also is a coordinator himself. You've got the coordinator, and you got the coordinator on the field when you've got Tom, right? So I don't think it would be as bad. What we're seeing out of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge is that we're seeing them ruin a young guy who needs that coaching, and he needs a good coordinator to coach him. And that's the disconnect there. So I still think that Tom could overcome that, or at least they could come to an agreement on how to run things. So. Bring back Don Shula. You want to, guess if you want to dig them up, it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets concussed again. It's kind of true though, man. Like they put him back out there. So. Topazio says, greatest third downers, Tom Brady, Kevin Falk, Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski. Absolutely. Gordon King says, Nathan Peterman is starting Sunday and I've already intercepted a pass. Nice job. So I remember some of you guys were questioning my pick last week of the Browns versus the DC Lizard people. Remember? And I bet you guys thought I lost my mind when I said that the Broncos would defeat the Chiefs. Now, how close is that? How close is that? This close. This close. Okay? They fired their coach. Russell Wilson's playing like crap. Look what almost happened. They got close. I was onto something there. And I just felt that they would put a solid game together. First of all, I think Nathaniel Hackett was a big part of their problem. But I had a feeling that they would come out and play a bit differently with a sense of urgency. I'm telling you, when you make a big splash like that, you fire a guy or you bench a guy or something like that, it makes a difference. That's why I said something needs to happen with Todd Bowles or Brian Leftwich. You need to make an example out of these idiots, and it sends a message to everybody. So it makes a world of difference.
The New England
That's the soundtrack to the Patriots versus Raiders ending. Okay. I still can't get over the Bengals renaming their stadium from Paul Brown Stadium to Paycor Stadium. How pathetic are you, Mike Brown? You removed your father's name from the stadium. How pathetic! Just for a few $1,000,000. Really? That's just... I can't get over that. That's still pathetic. All right. So, okay. So Cowboys over Titans. That was pretty easy to take there. The Titans? I don't get it. I don't know what they're doing. We say this every week. What is the Titans? What's their problem? You can't just say injuries because they've been doing this for a long time. So not only injuries, but everybody gets injured. I'm so tired of hearing that too. It's injuries. We got injuries. Injuries. He's injured. Oh, he's injured. But what if he wasn't injured? Oh, we'd be winning if he wasn't injured. Oh, man. We would have won the Super Bowl if he wasn't injured. Oh, fuck off. Fucking Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without Rob Gronkowski, so go lick someone's nads. All right. Falcons at Cardinals. That was pretty... I got that one right. Let's see. So I'm good so far. Let's see. Lions over Bears. I got that one right. Okay, I'm 3-0. Look at that. Jaguars over Texans. I got that 4-0. Okay, that's Chiefs over Broncos. I got that one wrong, so I'm 4-1. Patriots beat the Dolphins, of course. That makes me 5-1. I picked the Giants over the Dolts. 6-1. I can't remember who I picked, the Saints or the Eagles. I think I picked the Saints, though. Didn't I? I should have wrote that down. I normally do. Okay, we'll skip that one. Bucks I got right. 7-1. Let's see. Browns at Commanders, got that one right. 8-1. I got the 49ers right. 9-1. Seahawks. Did I pick the Jets or the Seahawks, Milena? Do you remember? Well, I said the Packers would beat the Vikings. I said the Chargers would beat the Rams. And I said the Ravens would beat the Steelers, and the Steelers actually won that game. So, for sure, I only lost 2 games. Not bad. Not bad. Right? Not bad. Huh?
Pretty close.
Pretty good. If I would have laid some bets down on that stuff, might have won some money. Okay? So... I cannot stand Tyreek Hill. I think he's the biggest douche, really. Helm? Okay. Who's a bigger douche, Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill? Just wondering. They should have a contest. Jason, why are you going to Arkansas? All right. Oh, Mastermind says Tampa Bay's offense is like irritable bowel syndrome. Oh no, Tyreek Hill's fast, but he's nowhere near the fastest football player of all time, is he? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of guys that are probably faster than him. It's also hard to determine though, like especially with the guys from back in the day. Gord King says, have you seen Paul Brown Stadium from the inside? Trust me, Paul would be relieved. Is it that bad? I told you guys know this for years. I've said that Mike Brown is the cheapest ass owner in the whole league. He is pathetic. Can't believe that this guy has a good team right now, but it won't last. And he's even letting the stadium just go to shit. What a loser, man. What a loser he is. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. All right. I guess that's right, Belated Play, but unless you're a Chiefs fan, that's true. Opa Courage says, speaking as a native Arkansan, no, you don't. Arkansas is dull and boring. No frills, nothing. You guys know I used to talk like this when I was young. When I was a boy, I talked like that. I don't even remember losing my accent. I never tried to. It just happened. It's weird. Huh. Okay, so going back to the thing we're not supposed to talk about. So I posted on Twitter. I said, bad injuries happen in sports. The pitchforks out for the NFL is absurd. What exactly are you going to change on Damar Hamlin's routine tackle? We could play another 100 years of NFL football, and this exact situation won't occur. The NFL handled it well. They canceled the game. What more do people want exactly? And that's the question. What are they wanting? What? And are these even people? Who are these people that are asking for these changes? I don't get it.
Do they even know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I don't think they know. Exactly.
They know the sport, the details.
But it's out of control, and I'll be honest with you, the reaction to from a lot of people, especially the former players. Okay, the former players, they're driving me nuts. They're driving me nuts. These guys get on here, and they're going after every single person who basically didn't tweet, I want to have sex with Hamlin. All right? If you didn't post anything that wasn't worshiping the guy, if you mentioned anything remotely close to, hey, what happens to the teams? What happens to the schedule? They ask for your cancellation. I'm talking about former players have been doing this. It's weird. It's very weird. Okay? Listen, I'm just going to make this very clear. It sucked what happened, but this wasn't September 11th. Okay? This isn't Pearl Harbor. we're allowed to ask questions about what happens to the schedule. Now, I have seen players paralyzed on the field. I have seen coaches have heart attacks on the sidelines. I've seen one coach have a stroke on the sidelines. Those games kept going, actually. All right? So I'm not even arguing that this game should have kept going. I'm fine with it. Okay, cancel it, but just replay it or continue it later. That's fine. That's not even my point. I'm just saying that we've gone from coaches having heart attacks on the sidelines and guys getting paralyzed on the field and continuing the game to now we can't even talk about the game. We can't talk about it. What the hell? What is going on here? It's bizarre. All right? It's bizarre. And apparently, if you ask these questions or you say anything other than what you're supposed to say, what they think you're supposed to say, you're insensitive and you're an asshole and you don't care. You know? I keep seeing his life is bigger than the game. Who said anything about that?
There's no comparison.
Who is saying this stuff? I don't understand. Like, you're just making up shit. You're just making up stuff in order to, you're virtue signaling out to everybody. You're trying to say, hey, look at me. I'm so righteous. I'm such a good person. Listen. If you're worried about Hamlin and you're praying for Hamlin, it's not necessary to advertise that to the whole world. You know, you don't have to. You don't have to showboat, basically, and make sure that everyone sees that's what you're doing. A lot of these former players are doing that, and they're trying to get clout on Twitter. They're trying to get likes and follows because they want that. Every time I see Hamlin's name trending, somebody makes up something so they can put his name in the tweet. So, prayers for Hamlin and stuff like that. And it's like the 15th time they've done it since Monday night, right?
You only pray once, don't
Yeah, and they retweet it and stuff like that, and they just keep doing it. It's clear that these people are trying to take advantage of the trending tag and all that. It's disgusting. And I don't see well-intentioned people as much as I see opportunistic idiots, honestly. So, I don't know. I will say if someone dies at a construction site, they don't stop building the building, okay? So it has to be figured out. Okay? It has to be figured out at some point. Sure, a guy at a construction site falls off the building and dies. They're probably going to send everybody home that day. Okay? I mean, I've never worked on construction. I'm just assuming that's probably protocol, right? But you don't stop building the building, okay? And now all these people on here are saying, should the NFL even play week 18? I mean, really? Are you serious now? Then listen, this shit is so out of control that I'm having to defend Skip Bayless and Roger Goodell. Me. I have to defend Roger Goodell. That's how far this has gone. This is how stupid this has become. The NFL did not do anything wrong here. Okay? First of all, the 5-minute thing that they've been saying, the NFL, Joe Buck announced that the NFL had told him that they're going to give them 5 minutes and then they can warm up again, blah, blah, blah. Okay. That is standard protocol. Okay. It's standard protocol for rain delays, weather problems, bomb threats, or in this case, a crazy rare injury that nobody expected. Okay. No doubt somebody just assumed that was the protocol and then told that to Joe Buck. Okay. It doesn't mean anything. Just because it was proposed or said or relayed doesn't mean anything. All that matters is the end result. That's all that matters. Okay. They've never seen this before. This has never happened. We've never had a player actually die on the field. Now he's brought back, but he did die on the field, right? I mean, technically, if you're doing CPR for 9 minutes, it means he's not responding, right? So, or we can argue semantics here. Okay, he almost died. Whatever. Okay.
It's called clinical death versus death.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So it was bad, right? The NFL's trying to figure out what's going on, what they're going to do. They need to talk to the coaches. They need to see how this is going to work, what all the implications are for canceling the game, what would happen, how to deal with it. There's a lot of crap that goes into that. People don't even know. You just turn on your TV and games start playing and you don't think about anything that went into this game. Okay? It's a lot. Okay? So those things have to be considered despite the injury. Despite how bad it is, you still have to run your business. You still have to make correct decisions and make sure that you've spoken to everybody, and make sure that you understand what they want and what they're going to do. Okay? That's exactly what happened. I'm definitely not an NFL apologist or Roger Goodell defender. Hell no, I can't stand that dumb fuck. All right? But he didn't do anything wrong here. Okay? So, in the end, they postponed the game. That's it. Doesn't matter how long it took. Who cares? They were seeing what the players wanted to do. Now, what if the players had changed their minds and said, no, we want to go out there and we want to beat the Bengals. We want to play for Hamlin. Well, that was an option. And they could have done that. But the NFL talked to the coaches, and the coaches said, we think it'd be better we just not play right now. And that's what they did. That's it. Okay? And then Skip Bayless posted something on Twitter, and all he stated something that was very clear if people know how to read. All right? I'm very disappointed in RG3 and Darrelle Revis, who apparently they went to college, but they must have slept through English class or something. I don't know if they don't know how to read, or if they don't have a very good vocabulary. They don't understand what the word irrelevant means. But basically, Skip Bayless said, actually, I'm going to read you the exact tweet, okay? Word for word, and let you decide. Okay. There it is. All right. So Skip Bayless says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game. But how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome. ... which suddenly seems so irrelevant. I think what he posted shows the importance of such a game and why canceling the game was such a good gesture, okay? It just reinforced the point of this. This wasn't some preseason game or week 2 game. This was, he's stating that this is a massively big game that has all kinds of implications. And when he says how, he doesn't mean how as in like, how could you? How dare you? He's literally asking the question, how are you going to do this? How are you going to fix it? And then he writes at the end, but it all seems irrelevant. What is wrong with this? I'm sorry, but I am terrified about where our society is going, especially in men. This is scary. I see grown-ass men who, a lot of them were players who are supposed to be the toughest of us all, acting like babies instead of handling the situation like men in a serious manner. They're going after other people. They're trying to cancel other people. What does that have to do with anything? I don't understand. And guess what? My money is that Hamlin is going to, and Jason, you mentioned this the other day. My money is that Hamlin's going to wake up out of this. Well, if he does, hopefully he does. And hopefully he doesn't have brain damage. Okay, again, I don't know the extent of everything. So whatever I say, if it may contradict whatever's going on. I don't know. Okay. But I'm saying if he comes back and if he's okay and everything's fine and he eventually can play football again, he's probably going to say, hey, you guys should have went out there and beat the Bengals' asses. All right. He might do that. You know, I've seen interviews with him and this guy loves football. Okay. Football is everything to him. He's like, he loves it. He loves the game. And a lot of guys would say that. So I hope he plays again. I hope he gets to get back out there. So that would be freaking awesome. So it's a routine tackle, guys. Okay. So there's several theories on what happened to him. One is it's a situation where it's very difficult for this to happen. If it's this case, it's something called commotio cordis, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing the word correctly, but your heart has a series of events that happens in one heartbeat. Okay. So we don't think about it. We don't realize it, but there's, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and there's different things that are happening in that one complete heartbeat, right? On the last part of that is a moment, apparently, where if your chest is hit at the right time, so the timing's got to be perfect, okay? It can disrupt it, okay? It can disrupt everything because your heart is like a complex electrical system, right? The nervous system. So it can screw you up, but it's got to be the timing's perfect. If it happened, this is from what I understand from a doctor that I was explaining this. If the hit happened on any of the other parts of the heartbeat sequence, it wouldn't have done anything. But apparently it's this exact moment, this precise moment had to be hit in the right spot and had to be in the perfect point of that heart rhythm. Okay. And then boom, he stands up. It's like a delayed reaction and then he goes down. Okay. So that's one theory I've heard. That one sounds reasonable. It does. Like, okay. So if you watch the replay, he does, Higgins is going in standard, lead with your head when you're the runner and you try to get a few extra yards by, bull rushing the defender. So Higgins goes in. Hamlin briefly takes contact to the chest, but it's not direct. It's not like right in front of your face direct. Okay. So that's the worst contact you can get is a direct hit. It's kind of off to the side a little bit. And as they go down, they kind of slide off away from each other, which takes some of the pressure off the impact, right? But there was contact right there, okay, into his chest with the helmet. So we did see that. So it's not like it was a tackle at the legs or something, and there's no chest collision. There was a chest collision with his helmet. So that's plausible, very plausible right there, right? So it's I don't know. It seems to make the most sense. I know this happens to baseball players. They get hit with a pitch in the chest, and it can happen. It happened to Chris Pronger. He was a defenseman in NHL for the St. Louis Blues for a long time, and he got hit with a puck in the chest. So it does happen. It's just so rare that we've never actually seen this in the NFL, to my knowledge. I don't think. So, and I don't even know if that's actually what happened, but it seems to make the most sense. We don't know. Also, here's another thing. So people are getting attacked for saying that it could be related to the shot, or it could also be related to having COVID, right? So nobody knows. Nobody knows. Could be a heart problem. He could have a family line of heart issues, underlying issues that were overlooked or missed, or it could just be something completely random, exactly at that moment, like we were saying, and that's it. It happens. So I don't know. I don't know, and nobody else does either. And that's my problem. Okay, that's my problem. Is that there's pitchforks out for everyone who just asks questions like, why did this happen? All right. Even if it is the hit to the chest that caused it, okay? It doesn't negate the other questions and concerns, like why has athletes been dropping dead in record numbers the last 2 years? That has to be answered. It may not have anything to do with Hamlin, but it needs to be answered. Why is this happening? What's going on? Why are young people having heart problems like never before? I don't like how one thing suddenly overshadows everything else, okay? So you can't talk about it and you can't answer the question because of A thing is happening over here, so B thing on the other side, nobody cares about it anymore. No, it still has to be answered. Because the rest of them weren't hit in the chest, okay? So his situation may have nothing to do with those other situations, but those situations still happen. They still are there and they still have to be addressed. And nobody is wanting to talk about it. Nobody's wanting to ask why. Why did this happen? I don't know about you guys, but I would like to know why this is happening because I want to make sure that I am not going to have a problem with this. What is it? What's causing it? You know? So we need this information and nobody's willing to ask the questions. And that's why science is really going into a scary place. So you can't ask questions anymore. You can't inquire. And that's frightening. It's frightening. That right there scares me more than anything else, is that we can't ask. We can't. It's just, that's bizarre to me. So. Let's see what you guys are saying. That's true of a Courage. We did play the week after 9/11, didn't we? Or was there a week? Let me remember. I remember we played the Jets after 9/11. That was the game Drew Bledsoe got hurt and Tom came in for Drew. But wasn't there a week off after that? But again, that's 9/11 though. That's a whole different thing. I mean, that is a whole different thing. So D. Bateman says, acting like babies. You mean bitches? Okay, yeah, I can go with that. Yeah, they're acting like bitches. So, but Bloody Pleb says, if one thing happens, the whole world stops. Fucking everyone who dares to move on. Yeah, it's this kind of thing is what makes me nervous more than just about anything else. So, a society, an empire, a country, anything like that crumbles from within, and it rots from within. And we seem to worry about things that aren't significant, and we ignore the things that are. Getting at each other and cussing each other out on Twitter over how you reacted to Hamlin's injury is not exactly what I'd call healthy for a country to be doing. So now there's the good part of this. There is one good thing I'd like to bring up regarding his injury, is that a lot of people, praying and putting that out there and all this, that's a good thing. That was cool to see, everybody like that, but uniting in that sense. And, as a Christian, of course, I'm going to be biased and I'm going to say that I like that. Okay. I like seeing that. But then there's the other side of it. There's the idiots who want to get some kind of social credit for what they're doing. And that's unfortunate. Nightwalker said, what's weird is if it was something like that, he should be up and running by now. Something like what? Which part? What do you mean? Were you talking about something I said or in the chat? I never changed anything, Bloody Pleb. I never changed anything in my life regarding 2020. I never did anything different. I was actually surprised to find out that people weren't already washing their hands. People weren't already clean in general. That was what was shocking to me. So everybody's like, "Oh, you got to wash your hands. You got to clean stuff around your house and everything." And I'm like, yeah, I already do that. My life didn't change. Okay. The only parts where my life changed was anytime I wanted to leave the house, I had a mob of idiots coming at me if I didn't conform to exactly what they felt. That was the weird stuff, the weird part. Everything else was pretty simple. I already did those things. So I remember I was shocked. They showed on the news that the government had come in and was cleaning the subway and cleaning the inside of the train cars, right? And I was like, you mean they weren't doing that already? Like, why is this news exactly? Why is them cleaning the train car news? I just assumed they already did that. Apparently, they didn't. So that was interesting to find out, wasn't it? Okay, first of all, yeah, all right, yeah. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Jalen. Yeah, the NFL canceled the games on the week of 9/11 and resumed the games the next week. Okay. Yeah, I thought that's what happened because I remember there was nothing that happened that week, I don't think. So he's on complete life support right now? Oh, crap. So
Is it a speculation or
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of unanswered questions. So for everybody on the internet to be getting pissed at each other and yelling at each other and trying to cancel each other when you don't know anything really, we don't really know. So I'm just catching up with you guys. Yeah, Nightwalker says what you were saying with the hitting in the chest at the right time. So you're saying that if that was it, he would be up already? Well, unless he had brain damage, right? Because I remember you and Jason were talking about that in the Legion chat, that the longer you're out, of course, and the longer you're deprived of oxygen, the bigger chance of brain damage. So he may wake up, but he may not wake up back to being the person he was before. Here's what I want to see. I want to see him on the field in a Buffalo Bills uniform again. That'd be badass. That'd be freaking epic. And I bet you he'd be the #1 jersey seller in the country too. There'd be fans of other teams buying his jersey. So well, I remember, you're talking about wearing a mask and stuff. I remember when Tom Brady put a quote in 2020. He posted a quote by FDR. It said, all that we have to fear is fear itself. And he was clearly saying that the panic and commotion over it is going to be much more damaging and hardcore to society than the actual problem itself. And they tried to cancel Tom for that quote. They went after him hard. But the truth is, just have a good immune system, okay? Take your vitamins, okay? Take your vitamins like you're supposed to. And this is advice for anything. This is something that people should have been doing before this happened. This is something you should do after. I mean, this is common sense. Just always take vitamins, because the food we eat, most of us Americans, the food we eat is never going to give us every vitamin that we need. So cover your ass, just drink a lot of water, things like that. I know that when anytime I've ever caught something, in even a cold or whatever, I always look back on it and realize that I did not drink enough water those few days. Like, I dehydrated myself. That always happens. It seems to be very consistent. So this is just common sense. And that's what Tom was just posting, common sense stuff is all he was doing. And they wanted to crucify him for it. James Johnson sends a $2 super chat. He says, miracles do happen, like with my brother. Yeah. I want everyone to see that. That's a great video, by the way. I got the link. Hang on. There it is. Yeah, guys. After the show, I want you to watch this video. It's not very long, but it's awesome. This is James Johnson's brother, and he talks about what happened to him regarding a situation with his heart. So I pinned that to the top there, so you guys could watch it later if you want, or whatever. So, but that's really, really good story, and it shows that good things can happen. So is it raining?
Yeah, it's boring.
Awesome. I love it. Oh, I love rain so much. I wish I could open the window. You think it'd probably get in here, huh? Damn. All right. Oh, okay, guys. So there's something I want to talk to y'all about. As we've seen with what I've been talking about regarding being canceled or whatever, or what you can and can't say. All right. I have launched VonAllen Sports on a website called Rumble. Rumble. Rumble a bumble a bumble. Would you guys be interested in a special show, let's say once per week, where we can call it the Book of VonAllen or something, okay? And we could talk about in-depth things, regarding sports or whatever we want to talk about, right? So do this every once in a while. Could be cool to talk about things that I can't not talk about on other platforms without getting in trouble, So thought it would be interesting to try that. It seems like on Rumble you can do those things and you're not going to get deplatformed or whatever. So I don't know. But it's only worth it if you guys are interested in doing it. So, but I noticed that we get into a lot of conversations sometimes, and I can't really go down the road I want to go down, and it's frustrating. So, yes, Ryan Dyer, we never get rain, not in LA. It's weird, but it's a desert climate almost. It's like, it sucks. I love rain and we never get it. So this is exciting. Except I'm concerned for my squirrels. So you guys know the squirrels I feed all the time. I'm sure I've showed them to you on camera. I've shown everybody. So I hope they're okay. So, I tried to give them a little house. I gave them my cat's old house because the cats never used this little dome house. And all they did was just tear it apart. So they didn't even sleep in it. So I don't know where they're at. I think I have an idea about which tree they're in, though. Yes, I'm sure you guys care about this. So. Yeah, Anthony, it's very strange, right? So, you would think next to the ocean, whatever, but yeah, it's LA is, almost everything you see here is fake, artificial, and it gives off a different vibe. But yeah, it never rains here. I might as well be living in Phoenix. Yuck. So. Huh?
It doesn't get that hot.
No, not get it hot. I'm talking about the rain consistency. So. No, thank the Lord it doesn't get as hot as in Phoenix. Yeah. California, the trouble with California is it's full of Californians. That's it. If you fix that, you're okay. So, all right, guys. Guess I'm going to call it a night. So thank you for being here with me. And before I go, I'm going to take a look here at week 18. Let's see. Okay, so we do have games on Saturday. So we will have the show this Friday night. Okay, so that's in 2 days. In 2 days. So just remember, Friday night. Friday night will be here. The finals for the quarterback game will be here. Also, I want to talk. I need to talk to Elf of Courage and Gord King separately. I want to ask you guys something about the statistics for the final Super Bowl game. Okay. See if you guys are interested or whatever in doing something like that. So I think I've got both of your emails, so I'm going to email you guys. I just have an idea to make it a little more interesting for everybody, but you guys don't have to do it. But I'm going to propose it to you anyway. So, do I think New England has a chance versus the Bills? Of course, yeah. I think the chances have improved with this situation. And Aaron, that's heartless. How can you say that? Well, it's just a reality of the situation. So maybe it improved, or maybe it's worse. I don't know, but I liked what I saw out of New England this weekend. So I think it's a 50-50 shot here. So, yep. I thought I said that. Did I not? Sorry. But I don't predict games until Friday night. So this is just reacting to what happened on Sunday. So that's probably why I didn't go through that. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for being here tonight. And I really appreciate you guys so much. Okay. And I will see you Friday. Don't forget, Friday. All right, bye. Bye, guys.
This is Patriots linebacker, Super Bowl 49 champ, Darius Fleming, and you're watching VonAllen Sports. Real and honest NFL analysis. Subscribe now. Join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go!